Buenos días. Buenos días, chicas, chicos.
Buenos días, profe.
Gracias, ¿cómo están? Esas cámaras han fallado, ¿eh? Algunas. Thank you, Cortés Miguel. Thank you, Juli. Bueno, como ya están entrando más. Francia. ¿Cómo está, señorita Francia?
Muy bien, ¿y usted, profe?
Bien, ¿dónde había estado, señorita?
Aquí.
Ay, sí, no habías entrado, ¿eh? ¿Algún inconveniente? Y que se pueda saber, a lo mejor es muy personal.
Sí, unas cosillas personales.
Bueno, ya saben, y no nada más ahorita para Francia, para todos de manera general. Cuando sea cositas así, no es necesario que me digan lo que está pasando. Nada más manden un mensaje, ya saben, están todos en el grupo. Si estás también, Francia, si no, dímelo para, buenos días, Elizabeth,
Sí,
para
profe.
meterte. Ya saben, rapidísimo, chicos, chicas. Prof, tengo problema personal. Se los digo porque hicimos un cambio en la lista a manera de, pues número uno pues hacer algo un poquito más eh, exacto. Sí, y tenemos un apartado en donde, pues bueno, ahí ponemos, una observación. Y en esa observación, si tú me mandas un mensaje, pues yo ahí le puedo poner, faltó a clase y ya, o sea, ya no te afectaría tanto, ¿sí? Porque ya te pongo ahí una falta justificada y pues ya no se cuenta como falta. Eso te beneficia al momento de, pues de hacer un promedio, ya sabes que es 30%, en lugar de si son 30 días de clase, ¿sí? Y tienes, de los 30 días, tienes 10 inasistencias, pues obviamente tu porcentaje te va reduciendo, pero si tienes faltas justificadas, pues ya no te las cuento como inasistencia. Entonces, nada más manden un mensaje y ya, mira, en ese apartado nosotros ponemos, Bueno, yo en el caso de ustedes, pues pongo una falta justificada así. Los porfas, nada, no es mucho un mensaje. Sale, así como lo he venido haciendo, vamos a ver historias que ustedes ya conocen, que ustedes han leído. Buenos días, Bruno. Sí, y pues son historias cortas. Voy a ampliar un poquito la pantalla para que tengamos una mejor vista. Sí, y pues vamos a ver esto, ya saben, el objetivo es de que tú estés en contacto con el idioma, sí, y también puedas leer. Hasta abajo vienen pues la conversación de todo esto, ¿ok? Es 13 minutos, 2, 3.
Jack and the Beanstalk. There once lived a widow with her young son Jack. All she had was a cow, which she fondly called Milky White. She sold its milk at the marketplace to make a living. Now Jack was a pretty smart lad, but did not put his brains to good use to help his mother.
Oh, I wonder if I will live to see the day when you make an honest living, you good for nothing. I'm getting old. How long will I look after you?
Don't worry, Mother. I'll look after you very well.
I will die peacefully if I know you can look after yourself.
And so life went on. However, one morning when Jack's mother went out to milk the cow, she got a bad shock.
Jack! Jack!
What happened, Mother? Are you okay?
Oh, Jack, there's no milk. Milky White has no more milk to give us. Oh, what are we going to do? How are we going to manage?
Don't worry, Mother. I said I will look after you.
But what are we going to do now?
Well, though Milky White has been a loyal friend, we have to be practical now. I will take her to the marketplace and get a good price for her. So off Jack went to sell Milky White. As he was walking, he came across a funny-looking man. Well, lad, where are you off to this morning? Milky White has stopped giving milk, so I'm going to the marketplace to sell her. This is your lucky day. Look what I have here. They seem to be some funny-looking beans. Oh, no. These are no ordinary beans. These are magical beans. I'll tell you what, I'll give these beans to you in exchange for your cow. And why would I do something stupid like that? Because, like I told you, these are magical beans. If you plant them, by morning they will have reached the sky. Are you joking? Not at all, my lad. Take these and see what happens. Jack took the beans and walked home, thinking that his mother would be very pleased.
What? You gave away the cow for these stupid beans? I should have known better than to trust you to sell the cow.
Jack's mother threw the beans out of the window, but when Jack got up the next morning, he saw an amazing sight. The beans had actually grown so high they seemed to touch the sky. Oh my gosh, I can't believe my eyes. I wonder where this beanstalk leads to. Let me climb up and see for myself. Jack jumped out of his window, caught hold of the stalk, and quickly clambered up. He climbed and climbed and climbed, and finally reached a wide road that led to a big castle. There was a tall and big woman standing there, and Jack went up to her. Good morning, ma'am. Would you be so kind to give me some breakfast?
Breakfast? Boy, you better get lost or my husband will have you for breakfast. He just loves to have little boys like you on toast.
Oh, ma'am, please, I beg of you. I am really, really hungry.
Oh, all right. Come along.
Jack went with her to the kitchen.
Here's some bread and cheese. You can wash it down with some milk from that jug. And better make it quick before my husband the ogre comes home.
Jack started gobbling down his food, but just as he was finishing, there was a stomping sound which made the house shake. The ogre's wife quickly hid Jack in the oven, just as the huge ogre strode in with 3 calves hanging from his belt.
Here, wife, make me breakfast with a couple of these. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread.
Oh, you must be getting the smell of boy who had it for dinner last night. That smell is still lingering in the kitchen. Go to your room. I will get your breakfast there.
As soon as the ogre went out of the room, Jack scrambled out of the oven and was about to run away, but the ogre's wife stopped him.
You better wait. Snooze after breakfast. If he smells you, he might just make a meal of you for dinner.
So Jack waited for the ogre to fall asleep. When he finished his breakfast, the ogre called out to his wife.
Wife, fetch me my bag of gold coins.
The ogre's wife placed 2 big bags in front of him, and he started to count the gold coins till he fell asleep. Jack could not resist this opportunity. He quietly crept up to the ogre, picked up one of the bags of coins, and ran back to the beanstalk. He threw the bag and quickly climbed down. All the gold coins fell into his mother's garden, and when Jack reached down, he called out to his mother.
Mother, look what I have here. We can sell these coins and our problems will be over.
Oh, Jack, I hope you haven't done anything wrong.
Of course not, Mother. Don't you trust your son?
Jack's mother was very happy, and she and Jack lived comfortably for some time. But soon all the gold coins were gone. Jack decided to climb the beanstalk again and once again try his luck. Early one morning, he climbed the beanstalk and went up to the road to the ogre's castle. The ogre's wife was at the door, and Jack went up to her.
Oh, ma'am, would you be kind enough to give me some breakfast? I am really starving.
Off with you, boy. The last time you came, my husband's bag of gold coins went missing.
Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope you don't think I had anything to do with it. But I'll tell you what, you give me some breakfast, and I will tell you something about that bag of gold.
I don't know if it's a good idea to believe you. Go on, have your breakfast. But make sure you are done before my husband gets back.
Jack had just finished on his breakfast when he heard the thumping steps of the ogre. Once again, the ogre's wife quickly hid him in the oven.
I'm hungry, wife. Broil these 3 oxen for me. Wait a minute. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread.
Oh, stop it. You always seem to be smelling the blood of an Englishman.
The ogre's wife convinced him again that there was no Englishman. After breakfast, the ogre called out to his wife.
Wife, bring me my hen that lays the golden eggs.
The wife went into the room and returned with a hen, which she placed on the table before her husband.
Aha, my wonderful hen, lay.
Before Jack's astonished eyes, the hen laid a beautiful golden egg. The ogre was very happy and soon began to doze off.
A hen that lays golden eggs? I have to have it. Mother and I will never want for anything ever.
Quietly, Jack crept up to the table and pounced on the hen and was off in a jiffy. But the hen got scared and cackled and woke the ogre up.
Hey, you! Stop, you thief!
But Jack was too quick for the huge ogre. Before the ogre could even get up, Jack was running down the road and then quickly scrambling down the beanstalk. As soon as he reached down, he rushed into the house and called out to his mother.
Now, why are you panting so, Jack? And where did you get this hen from?
Mother, you have to see this to believe it. Hen, lay.
Jack's mother could not believe what she was seeing.
Come on, Jack. Say lay once more and see what happens.
Jack says lay again, and the hen lays another perfect golden egg.
Oh, Jack, We will never want for anything ever again. You have proved yourself to be a good son.
And so time passed. Jack and his mother sold the golden eggs and lived a happy life. However, after some time, once again, Jack wanted to climb the beanstalk and see what he could get this time. One fine morning, he set off again, reached the same road, and made his way to the ogre's castle. But this time, he knew the ogre's wife knew that he had stolen the hen that laid the golden eggs. So he hid himself behind a bush when he neared the castle.
Ah, the ogre's wife is going out with her bucket to get water. Now is the right time to sneak into the castle.
Jack quietly entered the castle, but this time he did not hide in the oven. He went and hid himself behind a large copper pot. Soon the ogre's wife came in with a bucket of water, and after some time, Jack once again felt the rumbling of the ogre's footsteps.
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll have his bones to grind my bread.
I don't smell anything, and I did not see anyone come in. You and your imaginary smells.
But the ogre was not convinced and started searching in the kitchen. He looked everywhere, even in the oven. Jack was terrified that at any minute the ogre would find him. But just as the ogre came towards him, his wife called out,
Now will you stop this nonsense and come have your breakfast? You won't enjoy it if it gets cold.
Oh well, though, I could have sworn I smelled the blood of any Englishman.
Jack heaved a sigh of relief when the ogre went away to have his breakfast. He had been saved just in the nick of time.
Oh boy, I better not be so foolish again. Thank God for my lucky stars, or I would be between the ogre's bread slices and he would be having a Jack sandwich.
When the ogre finished his breakfast, he called out to his wife to bring the golden harp. Oh, how beautifully the harp sang. Jack had never heard such a sweet music. As usual, the ogre soon started feeling sleepy and nodded off. Jack waited a while, then slowly crept up to the ogre and snatched the magical harp. But alas, the harp immediately stopped singing and called out,
Master, someone is stealing me.
The ogre immediately got up, and Jack tucked the harp under his arm and fled for his life. The ogre was furious and seized his heavy oak club and ran after Jack. Now Jack was so tiny compared to the ogre that his steps were no match for the ogre's giant strides. Soon the ogre was getting nearer and nearer to Jack. But Jack managed to reach the beanstalk and quickly started climbing down. The ogre also started climbing after Jack, making the beanstalk shake violently. In the meantime, Jack's mother was getting worried when she did not see him in the house and came out to the garden to look for him. When Jack saw her far below, he called out to her,
Mother, quick, bring the big axe from the garden shed.
Oh dear me, Jack, what is happening? And who is that huge fellow following you?
No time to explain, Mother. Just go and bring the axe quickly.
Jack's mother ran to the garden shed and came back with an axe. As Jack neared the ground, he quickly picked up the axe and started cutting down the beanstalk. When he had chopped it halfway through, the beanstalk became weak and could not bear the weight of the huge ogre, who fell down with a huge thud.
Hello? Yippee! The ogre is dead!
And so came to an end the cruel ogre and the beanstalk. Jack and his mother had all the money they wanted with the golden eggs, enjoyed the beautiful music of the golden harp, and lived happily for a long, long time.
Now, master, see how I will change your fortune. You placed your trust in me, and I will not let you down.
Puss took the old bag lying in Jack's room, put 2 carrots in it, and made his way to the warrens nearby. As he had expected, soon 2 curious rabbits came sniffing up to the bag.
Okay, guys. What was the title of this story? Come on, guys, tell me what was the title of this story? Hmm? Somebody tells me what was the title. Cinderella? No, what was the title of this story? Students. The title of this story. No, you don't know. El título de la historia, chicos. Jack and the ex Golden. Tienes bien de the first part, Sánchez Yutzil, but an ex Golden. No. Ay, chicos, y luego quieren que buena calificación.
Es Jack and the Magic Beans.
Jack and the Magic Beans. Tienes bien el nombre, pero no el resto. Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay, that was the title of this story. Okay. Obviously in English, the titles of different things, different passages, in this case, stories, change. So I hope you understood everything about this story. Yes, I hope you understood. Well, guys, coming back to what we need to. Okay, tenemos una tarea pendiente. Your to-do list. Okay, your to-do list. ¿Sale? Pero antes, vamos a ver en esto. Okay, listening. Listen to the podcast and answer the questions. What is the first tip? What is an example of the first tip? How is the first tip helpful for Tina? What is the second tip? How is the second tip helpful for Tina? And according to Andrew, which of the two tips can save you more time? Okay, so you remember that yesterday we were checking about saving time for you and at home. What I mean is to have good time in your house, to use it effectively. Yes, tips. For example, yesterday in the tips, we were checking. Yes. Immediately immediately clean my bedroom. Before, brush my teeth. So far, finish my homework. In the future, paint my room. I don't know, things like this, okay? So, ayer tuvimos un ejemplo claro de esto. Tips, recommendations, advices to use the time effectively. Sí, tuvimos un listening. Then we had a reading about tools for life. And right now, we have the last check of the unit. ¿Sale? Entonces, vamos a escuchar esto. Wait. And then we will answer these 6 questions. I am going to repeat this 2 times in case you don't have some information. Number 2, right there is the script of this listening. So, 1, 2, los que no tienen libro, pues obviamente pueden copiar las preguntas and then got it in the notebook. 3.
Lesson 8.4, page 64, exercise 1.
Hi, everyone. This is Tips with Tina. Our guest today is Andrew King, time-saving expert. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, Tina. I'm happy to be here.
So, my listeners are busy people, and they all want to know how they can save time. Do you have any helpful tips for them?
Absolutely. My first tip is a pretty simple one and will save you a few minutes here and there every day. That tip is have a place for everything.
Do you mean like a place for your keys and a place for your coat?
Exactly. If your keys are always hanging on a hook or in a bowl by the front door, you won't waste time looking for them when you have to leave the house.
That's a great point. Sometimes I spend 15 minutes looking for my keys in the morning.
Think of what you could be doing with that 15 minutes. You could start a load of laundry, wash the dishes, pay some bills.
I never thought about it that way. What else can my listeners do to save time?
Well, this tip will save you a lot of time. Remember that you don't have to say yes to every invitation.
That's an interesting idea. I always feel like I have to say yes, unless I have other plans or an appointment. But if I say yes every time someone invites me to do something, I don't have any time for myself. I can't get my laundry done. I can't clean my house.
That's exactly right. And it's important to have time for yourself. You can refuse an invitation just because you have a lot of chores to do, or even if you simply need some time to relax.
Those are great tips, Andrew. I think they're going to save me and my listeners a lot of time.
Okay, one more time.
Lesson 8.4, page 64, exercise 1.
Hi, everyone. This is Tips with Tina. Our guest today is Andrew King, time-saving expert. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, Tina. I'm happy to be here.
So, my listeners are busy people, and they all want to know how they can save time. Do you have any helpful tips for them?
Absolutely. My first tip is a pretty simple one and will save you a few minutes here and there every day. That tip is have a place for everything.
Do you mean like a place for your keys and a place for your coat?
Exactly.
If your keys are always hanging on a hook or in a bowl by the front door, you won't waste time looking for them when you have to leave the house.
That's a great point. Sometimes I spend 15 minutes looking for my keys in the morning.
Think of what you could be doing with that 15 minutes. You could start a load of laundry, wash the dishes, pay some bills.
I never thought about it that way. What else can my listeners do to save time?
Well, this tip will save you a lot of time. Remember that you don't have to say yes to every invitation.
That's an interesting idea. I always feel like I have to say yes unless I have other plans or an appointment. But if I say yes every time someone invites me to do something, I don't have any time for myself. I can't get my laundry done. I can't clean my house.
That's exactly right. And it's important to have time for yourself. You can refuse an invitation just because you have a lot of chores to do, or even if you simply need some time to relax.
Those are great tips, Andrew. I think they're going to save me and my listeners a lot of time.
Okay, guys. So thinking about these answers for this, okay? We have some possible answers. What I mean is here, you can introduce your personal opinion, okay, in the way and based in the information. So according to this listening, what is the tip number one? What is the first tip? What is the first tip, guys? Guys, what is the tip number one? Students, what is the tip number one? No? Chicos, ¿qué pasa? ¿Por qué ese silencio? o ya lo tienen y no lo quieren compartir, pues también se vale. ¿Mm? Contesten algo, chicos.
A mí se me trabó y ya no escuché bien el audio.
Pues eso, díganme para que yo lo ponga otra vez. Es tan simple, chicos. Ok. Por eso también les dije, estoy poniendo ahí la conversación también la puedes ver ahí. No nada más es con el audio, lo puedes ver ahí, y pues ahí puedes agarrar también mucho.
Lesson 8.4, page 64. Exercise 1.
Hi, everyone. This is Tips with Tina. Our guest today is Andrew King, time-saving expert. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, Tina. I'm happy to be here.
So, my listeners are busy people, and they all want to know how they can save time. Do you have any helpful tips for them?
Absolutely. My first tip is a pretty simple one and will save you a few minutes here and there every day. That tip is have a place for everything.
Do you mean like a place for your keys and a place for your coat?
Exactly. If your keys are always hanging on a hook or in a bowl by the front door, you won't waste time looking for them when you have to leave the house.
That's a great point. Sometimes I spend 15 minutes looking for my keys in the morning.
Think of what you could be doing with that 15 minutes. You could start a load of laundry, wash the dishes, pay some bills.
I never thought about it that way. What else can my listeners do to save time?
Well, this tip will save you a lot of time. Remember that you don't have to say yes to every invitation.
That's an interesting idea. I always feel like I have to say yes unless I have other plans or an appointment. But if I say yes every time someone invites me to do something, I don't have any time for myself. I can't get my laundry done. I can't clean my house.
That's exactly right. And it's important to have time for yourself. You can refuse an invitation just because you have a lot of chores to do, or even if you simply need some time to relax.
Those are great tips, Andrew. I think they're going to save me and my listeners a lot of time.
Okay. So now, what is the tip number 1? Somebody tell me what is the tip number 1? The tip number 1 is what? It's about food? It's about the school? I have a chat. Have a place for everything. It's for itself. Let me see. Have a place for everything. Exactly. So that is the answer number 1. Thank you. So note down. In case the class finishes, all right, you know, you have 10 minutes and then we return. Okay.